What's up, boys and girls? Dinosaur here, and welcome back to another brand new video. Today, I will be giving you guys my thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, first of all, I have tried to record this video like 3 times already because, I had to re-record it every single time. So this time, I'm just gonna say this outright. This video will contain spoilers. So this is a spoiler review. If you haven't watched the movie, go check it out and hopefully you have a good time. All right, so now that is out of the way. First things first, before I watched this movie, I made some predictions. One of the predictions was this will be the first good movie in a decade. Is it? No, it is not. It is an improvement to Dominion, but it's not a good movie. to be, to be honest, I thought that Fallen Kingdom was a better movie than this. The whole plot is kind of stupid. Well, it okay. You have to get blood from like three different dinosaurs, the biggest, the ones that have the biggest hearts and stuff like that, and that's fine. But why do they hire these mercenaries when they could literally hire a whole army? And I know they said, it will be like too much of a big racket about everything. But they did the same thing with InGen in Jurassic Park 2. Lost World. They hired a whole freaking army to go to Isla Sorna to get these dinosaurs. Why did they just, why didn't they just do the same thing over here? They could have easily gone and gotten this out, and like I don't see the point why they had to go just the 7 people to recover these DNAs. And also, there's this one family in the whole thing. They serve no purpose in storytelling, literally nothing. All they do is just walk around. The only person that is remotely interesting is the daughter's boyfriend. That is the only person that is remotely interesting. And even he could have had a better character arc if he just freaking said one line. All he had to say was, when the dad was like, "Hey, you jumped after my daughter to save her," all he had to say was, "You would have done the same," and that would have made it 10 times better than just saying, "I have to go pee." That was the stupidest writing that I've ever heard. What is the purpose of these 4 guys? Or these 4 characters? They serve no purpose than having almost being eaten by a T-Rex, which I don't even know how the T-Rex has survived for this long if it can't kill a freaking baby. Like, this kid is 80 years old, probably like 8 to 10 years old. A T-Rex can't kill it when when the girl is literally shouting under raft, and the T-Rex can't kill her. And I know the problem is that the Jurassic franchise doesn't support you know getting kids eaten or whatever, or we would have the Indominus Rex eat those kids in the first Jurassic World, or even go back to the first Jurassic Parks. Even they had kids in there, and they had plot armor and stuff like that. But this is insane. If a T Rex, these are supposed to be like the most dangerous like versions of the T Rex, the Spinosaurus and all that stuff, and they can't even kill these guys. In the starting, after these two factions basically meet, the mercenary group and the family. When the family is out stranded, the Spinosauruses, if you watch the movie, before the Mosasaurus kind of topples their boat, they see a couple of sails out in the distance, and they see, oh hey, that might be like a boat or something. And now it was probably the Spinosauruses. So they were stranded on that boat for at least an hour basically. And the Spinosauruses didn't come anywhere near them. They actually went away. They went away from the freaking boat. And what is this bro, like. And the daughter's boyfriend, I think his name is Xavier. He All he had to do was, get a box from underneath and then swim up. He swims up, and the mosasaurus is swimming behind him trying to eat him, and this dude outswims a mosasaurus. I get the fact that, the mosasaurus starts, further back, but it's a mosasaurus. It's supposed to catch up to that guy before he makes it to the boat. He makes it to the boat, and bro, I okay, you know what? If this movie was probably one of the first movies, like, the first one in the trilogy or something, it's okay with the plot armor and stuff. But this is the seventh movie. This is the seventh time they did this. The first two movies, you actually, even this third one, you are on the edge of, oh wait, these guys might actually die. These main characters might actually die. But this is the seventh time that they didn't die. All the main characters survived. And I get the fact that not everybody is George R. R. Martin, and not everybody can write a good death. But okay. So Mahershala Ali's character, I think his name is Duncan. So Duncan, at the end of the movie, he makes this heroic sacrifice, and um basically distracts the D-Rex. He takes the D-Rex away, so the D-Rex goes further away, so everybody has time to escape. And Duncan is face to face with the D-Rex. The D-Rex is roaring in his face, and they escape. And then they're like, "Hey, Duncan, well, Duncan is gone and whatever." And then he shoots off a flare. Okay, I should say this before. So the D-Rex supposedly kills Duncan, comes back, and he tries to go after the boat, but can't. Even though it has four legs, it can't run a few freaking steps and catch up to the freaking boat. Why couldn't you not, just walk faster? Even if walking faster would have been better. And saying that, oh wait, it's just too big, it can't, it just can't walk that fast. But this thing was walking slower than the Titanosauruses. Oh bro, this is crazy. I know, freaking Ankylosaurus would have been faster than this. And I mean, I don't really see the point of the D-Rex being in the movie. It was in the movie for maybe like 10 to 15 minutes tops. And the first scene that we see about the D-Rex, the trailer show the D-Rex is like this whole thing that's going to happen in the whole movie and stuff like that. They're going to set it up to be the big bad. It's not the big bad. I don't think there is a big bad dinosaur in this whole movie, apart from the mutodons. I don't think there is a big bad dinosaur. They kind of set it up like the first Jurassic Park, where the mutodons are really the raptors, and the D-Rex is like the T-Rex. And they were supposed to, the D-Rex was supposed to kill the mutodon, and they would escape, and this guy would have been like a heroic kind of villainish dinosaur or whatever. But this thing is so useless. It's so useless. I don't. Okay, so the first scene when it was first introduced, it's a really cool scene. The stupid thing is, what the how did the system reboot? This guy, he eats a Snickers bar. He throws the packaging on the floor. I don't think a scientist would do that. Why is that a thing? And the Snickers bar, the Snickers packaging, it gets caught into the door. The door kind of like has a malfunction, and the whole system reboots, and the it releases the D-Rex for some reason. Why? I get the point, but why? rebooting would, basically make them non-functional. But what was the whole point of having doors if they're just gonna open if the system reboots? Like, so you're telling me that if something happens and the system reboots it by itself, the D-Rex is just gonna be released? Like, that is a stupid system to design. That is so stupid, man. Honestly, let's that guy deserved to die. I That guy needs to freaking, I don't know, sent to outer space and get his head exploded or something like that. Like, that was so stupid. Like, why is that a thing? And yeah, also the Mosasaurus's design. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the same one from the Jurassic World trilogy. So like the last time we saw this Mosasaurus was in Dominion, and like a post credit scene of Dominion or something like that. And what in 17? I'm pretty sure this movie takes place 17 years after the last movie Dominion. Why has it just changed size? It's Why did it just change size and color? Like, it looks completely different than what it did 17 years ago. And I know about, adaptability, but that doesn't occur in the first species. The first version of the species doesn't really adapt. They just eat. So like, if a species eats too much, and then later on in generations, they become smaller because they eat less, because they have less food. The first generation doesn't become small. They just eat less. They just eat less and require less food. And later down in the next generations, they just grow smaller because they're just adapted to eating less. And this is the same mosasaur from Dominion, and in Dominion, that thing was huge. It was huge, and again, I don't know what they did with the freaking Titanosaurus, because the Titanosaurus in real life is not a Titanosaur, so it is not as big as that. It is like compared its comparability is the size to a freaking Apatosaurus, or maybe slightly bigger. It is not that big. I know, all these are hybrids, but if they are hybrids, there shouldn't be public knowledge of these creatures living of a Titanosaurus living on this island. If you didn't know that hybrids, were built here, hybrids were made here. So there's no point of people, why do this? Like, because that just defeats the whole purpose. Like, that it's just so stupid that you say that every species over here is an hybrid, but people know about dinosaurs. They know about Titanosaurus being here, and Titanosaurus is not that big. It is obviously a hybrid of some kind, because Titanosaurus is not that big. If you know anything about Titanosaurus, I will probably link down the Wikipedia page or something like that. Titanosaurus is not that big. It is so much smaller than a Brachiosaurus. And if you just needed a bigger heart, why not just go after the Brachiosaurus from the opening scene? And I'm pretty sure that's not even a Brachiosaurus. So I'm pretty sure that's a Diplodocus. But why not just, if you say, I'm pretty sure they said Brachiosaurus on the radio. Why not just go after the Brachiosaurus that's in the city? It's the way you take blood is so discreet. All you need to do is just shoot a syringe at it, and it automatically does all the other work. You don't need to do anything else. You can do this out in the public, and nobody would probably notice that. Like, that is, it's stupid that they go after this one, and at the same time, they why do they not go after a megalodon? And I know a megalodon might not exist, but I see the symbolism that Duncan says to, I believe it is the it is the doctor or the paleontologist that he says that to, or the main human villain that he says that to. He says you don't want to end up in this while that person is standing in the megalodon's jaws. And if it that is quite clearly a megalodon, because a mosasaurus doesn't look like that. So why not just go after a megalodon if it exists in real life? I know it might be symbolism for, hey, you don't want to end up being eaten or whatever, but that is kind of, stupid. Why don't they just, yeah, I know they need the dinosaurs alive. If they just go out with an army, they could sedate literally everything and get the blood pretty easily without any casualties. All they need to do is just get some helicopters and some, you know, trank rifles or something, and they could easily have taken over this whole island. Like, it's really, kind of stupid. And then the coming to the D-Rex serves no purpose. It does nothing. It can't kill an unarmed Duncan. And at later, how the film ends is, Duncan shoots a flare saying that he's actually alive. They go back, they shine a light at Duncan, and Duncan is holding a lit flare. So where the heck is the D-Rex? Why is it not going after a lit flare? Yeah, it was there. It was right there like 2 seconds ago. What is this? Like, I know plot armor is a big thing in Jurassic the Jurassic universe, but this is, I don't know what to say. This, I had one, so and one of my other predictions from my predictions that I made was one of the main characters is going to die. I was so close to having that. They just need, they could have just killed off Duncan and that would have been fine. That would have been completely fine. And also at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I, I just, they could have just killed off Duncan, and they're obviously, setting him up to be, a main character or like a sub main character for the next two films, probably, because they're most likely gonna make this a trilogy. But it's what is the point of having that if a no then why is the D-Rex even alive? I know you can't kill the D-Rex because you don't have the ability to kill it, but what was it doing for? Like, they could have easily just replaced that with a freaking Giganotosaurus, or like a, or like, or a big Spinosaurus for all I care, and it would have been completely fine. It would have literally ended the same way. You didn't need the D-Rex. You didn't need the D-Rex. I mean, no, a Spinosaurus probably could have also taken down the helicopter because it was flying really low. And I don't, what? What, the D-Rex serves no purpose than, this terrifying scene from the first part, which probably could have been avoided if not literally every single character in that scene was brain dead. If they were, bro, they were not looking at the people going inside the enclosure of the cage of the D-Rex. What was the whole point? Like, that it's just, this movie is so out of place. And coming back to the family, not like I said before, none of them have any character development. And yeah, the only person coming close to it is the boyfriend, and that could have been so much better, like I said before. And yeah, I mean, in the trailer, and the only trailer that I saw, the first trailer, they showed this D-Rex as, this formidable foe, as like the big bad of this movie. It's not the big bad because it shows up for like 15 minutes, like when there are 15 minutes left in the movie, and he shows up for like, I think, 5 shots in total. And that is crazy. Like, that's, so it shows up, the first time it shows up is at the helicopter, or Is it the first time? No, the first time is when where what is Dr. Henry, I think his name is. He's inside with Duncan, and they see the dinosaur, or where the mutant walking across from the door. That's the first time. The second time it shows up is when it has a helicopter in his hand. Third time is when he kills the big bad. The fourth time is when it reappears. So it only appears at most 5 times, and it, like, there's literally no explanation to it, like what it is, what is it supposed to be. I know, like, they wanted the hybrids and stuff like that, but yeah, they explain nothing to this. Like, they could have easily said, "Oh, this is like a field, like this is the original Indominus Rex. Like, this is what the original attempt was to the Indominus Rex, because it's a T Rex and it has big arms, like the Therizinosaurus, and it looks it is a really it's a mutant T Rex with a kind of face that is not that long as a T-Rex. It's just a flatter face than a T-Rex, and a Therizinosaurus front arms. It's stupid. But I mean, I did get a cool poster from my cinema, so I'll probably have that out on the I'll probably have it on the screen right now. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's better than Dominion, but it has so many flaws. Like, it's idiotic that they go out and with you know these are supposed to be trained militants and mercenaries, and they can't kill a Spinosaurus. This guy, he shoots like 6 shots at a Spinosaurus, and none of them hit it. The one does. It hits the sail, and the shot just glides off the sail. What was the whole point of shooting it if the bullets are not even gonna go through it? Like that. uh, what is the point of having that gun then if it's not gonna do anything? Like, it's insanely just stupid, and everything else other than that is basically. I like the CGI. The CGI is pretty good. I think there was this one scene with, I think the dinosaur's name was Dolores at the end. I don't know what the species is. I forgot the name of the species. But so there's the introduction to that dinosaur. The CGI kind of felt iffy, but other than that, the CGI was pretty good. The raptors were in the movie for like 2 seconds, and after that they got mauled down by the mutodon. And yeah, I just can't stress this enough. This is the seventh time they've done this, where every single main character survives. And there's, like, I went into this movie hoping that nothing, hopefully they will have at least kill one of the main characters, but that faded literally like second like minutes into the movie, when uh, the dad and the 80-year-old girl jump in the water, where the like, they're not on the boat, they jump into the water, and every single character jumps into the water with freaking Spinosauruses behind them. This Spinosauruses had easy food. They went after the boat. Why go after the boat if you just want to kill the humans? Like, uh, they could have easily just killed all the humans, and the dad had a broken leg, and somehow the dad and the 80-year-olds survived four Spinosauruses. What was the whole, like, after that? I was like, okay, yeah, they're not gonna kill anybody. And in these movies, you have certain you have certain categories of characters. If they appear in most of that film, and they have a certain amount of lines, they're not gonna die. If they appear for like half the film but they have like 2 lines, they are going to die. And then you have the generic bad guy who is just I mean, it's too predictable. It's just too. I mean, yeah, I know you can only do so much with just dinosaurs, but there you can tell stories about how some person used dinosaurs to like overthrow a government or something like that's a stupid plot too. But it's like 10 times more interesting than going to find three dinosaurs and getting blood from them, and they're using seven people who are supposed to be good mercenaries, but they don't do any. They're pretty terrible at mercenarying. So like, I I I don't know what to say, man. Jurassic World Rebirth, it was going to be so good. It had so much hype behind it, but like it's not worth the hype. It's I don't know what to say. It's an improvement on Dominion. It is not a good movie. It doesn't come close to anything. It's not even. It's top five because no, it's not even top five. It's yeah, it doesn't even come close to Fallen Kingdom in my opinion, and yeah, it's an awful movie. So yeah, there you have it, guys. I guess I'll give it this if Fallen Kingdom was like a 5 out of 10, I would give this a 3 out of 10. Although the CGI is a 10 out of 10, or a 9 out of 10 because take that Dolores thing out. But yeah, 9 out of 10 CGI, 0 out of 10 stories, 0 out of 10 characters. Other than Xavier was pretty okay, but other than that, it was so bad. This had every right to be really good, and they somehow failed. This movie literally could not fail, and somehow it failed. Well, from the trailers, it could just not. Wouldn't think that it would fail, but it just failed miserably. So yeah, that's my final verdict. I would give it a 3 out of 10. You can go watch it if you want to. I would just recommend just no, not go in the theaters to watch it. Just wait until the movie starts streaming somewhere. So it's not worth it to go. Well, you know. Everybody has their own preferences, but probably would have not wasted my money to go watch this movie day one, show one. To yeah, um, yeah, that's basically it, guys. I guess I'll see you guys next time. Until then, like, share, subscribe, do everything you want to do. Don't forget to hit the noti bell after you do subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.